بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال تبارك وتعالى إن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا. Brothers and sisters, this is your brother in Islam, Yusuf Badat from the Islamic Foundation of Toronto. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The purpose and the objective of this presentation is to clarify and make aware the updated timings of Fajr and Esha at the Islamic Foundation of Toronto, and also for those who are concerned across the GTA. So let us begin. The question that was posed was in relation to the timetable and the timings of Fajr Salah in particular. When we look at the timetable that was designed about 20 years ago, we find that August the 1st, the timing for Salat al-Fajr is 4:30 a.m. in the morning. And when we look at the newly published timetable for Ramadan 2011, we find Fajr beginning time is about 4:05 a.m. So the question that was posed by numerous brothers and sisters in the congregation is why this discrepancy and why this change? Now, before we address this question, we need to understand some technical terms, some aspects from the source text, and then inshallah we will address the matter inshallah. The first thing that we need to understand is what is a horizon. In Arabic, a horizon is known as ufuq. In English, it's called horizon. In very simple layman's term, the definition of horizon is the apparent line that separates the earth from the sky. So in this nice image that we have before us, we see this apparent line that is separating the earth from the sky. So this line is known as the horizon, or in Arabic, the ufuq. Here's another image showing the horizon. Here's one more image that shows us the horizon, and again the horizon, or the ufuq, is the apparent line that separates the earth from the sky. So this line here is known as the horizon. The second aspect that we need to understand is that the sun is either below the horizon or above the horizon. Let us look at a diagram. In this diagram, we see the horizon, and the horizon, the sun is either below it or above it. When the sun is above the horizon, then it's very clearly visible. This is known as daylight. When the sun is below the horizon, it's either difficult to see or impossible to see because of the darkness. The second thing is that there are twilights both in the morning and also in the evening. Before the sun visibly comes out, there are glows of light in the morning, and after the sun sets, there are also glows of light towards the evening before the complete darkness. So two things we need to understand from this slide. One is that the sun is either above the horizon or the sun is below the horizon. The second thing that we need to understand is there are twilights both in the morning and both in the evening. In the morning before the sun appears, and in the evening after the sun disappears. Another thing that we need to clarify and understand also is that there are two types of twilights. A reddish twilight known as the Shafaq al-Ahmar, and a whitish twilight known as the Shafaq al-Abyad. And both the red and the white, they appear in the morning and also in the evening. Here are some images to help us identify the Shafaq al-Ahmar, the reddish glow in the horizon, the red twilight. Here's another image that shows us very clearly, and we can identify the redness in the horizon, the red twilight, Shafaq al-Ahmar. Another image here showing us the redness in the horizon, the red twilight. And again, this happens both in the morning and also in the evening. Another image for the Shafaq al-Ahmar, the red twilight in the horizon. Here's an image showing us the whiteness in the horizon, the Shafaq al-Abyad. And one more image showing us Shafaq al-Abyad, the whitish glow, the white twilight in the horizon. Now that we've understood what a horizon is, we've understood that the sun is either below or above the horizon, and we've also understood what the twilight is and the two different types of twilights, the red and the white. We need to understand that what is the appropriate time for salah. So we refer to the source text in this brief presentation. I just refer to a few source texts. We look in the Holy Quran, we find words like duluk al-shams. We find words like aqim as-salata tarafayi an-nahar. We find words like min al-khayt al-abyad, min al-khayt al-aswad. These are different terminologies found in the Holy Quran speaking about the position of the sun, the horizon, etc., to determine the appropriate time for salah. Then we also refer to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, numerous reports, and also the extensive work by the Islamic fuqaha, the jurists, and the imams of fiqh. At this particular point, we are concerned with Fajr timing and Salat al-Isha timing. So if we are to look at the source text, we find that the Prophet ﷺ has indicated that the appropriate time to begin Salat al-Fajr is as soon as the white twilight appears. When the Shafaq al-Abyad appears, it's appropriate to perform Salat al-Fajr. And for those of us who are fasting, then as soon as this whiteness appears, then we are to stop eating and commence the fast. When it comes to Salat al-Isha in the source text through the Quran, the Hadith, and also the works of the Fuqaha, the jurists, we find that the appropriate time to begin Salat al-Isha is at the disappearance of the evening red twilight, at the disappearance of the Shafaq al-Ahmar. Once that disappears, then now we can commence our Salat al-Isha. Now, in the timetables that are found, the perpetual timetables, there were some concerns raised over numerous years. And this concern was brought before the CCMT, the Canadian Council of Muslim Theologians. And they went to do observations of the twilights, primarily to figure out, to see the appropriate time for Salat al-Isha. We had several teams that went out across the GTA to observe the twilight in the evening, and we had some individuals who went out early in the morning to observe the morning twilights. So what these teams were observing was to find out the appropriate time for Salat al-Fajr, and that is, when does the white twilight appear across the horizon? So they went to observe this, a few individuals, and numerous teams went to observe when exactly does the red twilight disappear. They went to find out and observe the white twilight so we can determine when Salat al-Fajr starts, and for those of us who are fasting, when we need to stop eating. And they went to observe when the red twilight disappears so that we can determine when we can start Salat al-Isha. So the resolution of the Canadian Council of Muslim Theologians, after looking at all the several reports, there were different timings that came forward, and they gathered all these reports and they came to a conclusion that the safest and most appropriate time to start Salat al-Isha and start Salat al-Fajr is as follows. For Salat al-Fajr, when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon, that is the appropriate time to start and commence Salat al-Fajr. And the appropriate time to start Salat al-Isha would be at when the sun is 15 degrees below the horizon. Once again, the appropriate time to start Salat al-Fajr would be when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon, and the appropriate time to commence Salat al-Isha would be when the sun is 15 degrees below the horizon. Let us look at this from the diagram. So the CCMT resolution, the scholars decided that the appropriate time when this whiteness starts appearing is when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon. At this point, if we are fasting, we are to stop eating, and now at this point we can start Salat al-Fajr all the way up until sunrise. And when it came to Salat al-Isha, the CCMT resolved that when the sun is 15 degrees below the horizon, that is when this redness disappears and we can start our Salat al-Isha, and this would be the appropriate time to begin and commence Salat al-Isha. And one point that was mentioned in the resolution that inshallah I am about to read is that this is a matter of our ibadat, our worship, in particular our fasting and our prayer. So we should we shouldn't be ready to compromise just for a few moments, just to perform Salat al-Fajr a little later, or to continue eating till a few more moments, and when it comes to Salat al-Isha, to perform it a little earlier, just for a few minutes. It would be safe, and the caution would dictate that we take this resolution and we perform our ibadat and our fasting, our prayer and fasting in accordance to that, because this is a matter of our prayer and its validity. So let's read the resolution. Upon conducting extensive research and physical observations of the twilights, both red and white, Shafaq al-Ahmar and Shafaq al-Abyad, the Jamiatul Ulama Canada, the Canadian Council of Muslim Theologians, has resolved that the appropriate time for the beginning time of Fajr, Subah al-Sadiq, for the GTA and its surrounding areas is when the sun is 18 degrees below the horizon. In other words, when the Shafaq al-Abyad appears in the horizon, and the appropriate time for the beginning time of Isha is when the sun is 15 degrees below the horizon, when Shafaq al-Ahmar disappears from the horizon. The CCMT acknowledges that there are differences of opinion surrounding this issue. By no means does the CCMT intend to denounce those views and opinions. The stance of the CCMT is strictly for reference purposes only. The CCMT does not intend to cause communal discord. Each individual and organization is at liberty to exercise whatever view they deem fit for their religious observations. However, the CCMT strongly suggests caution be exercised in this matter, as it is in connection with the validity of one's prayer and fasting. So this is an excerpt taken from the resolution of the CCMT, and this is what they have resolved as explained earlier. In conclusion, I just wanted to specify that this presentation and its objective is simply to clarify and make matters clear for the congregation here at the Islamic Foundation of Toronto, and for anyone who may be concerned across the GTA. And I would like to also emphasize that there are differences of opinion. Everyone may not agree with this resolution. However, we do respect everyone's opinion, and we should respect and acknowledge the differences of opinion, and we shouldn't cause discord and unnecessary argumentation and unnecessary disputes. And in conclusion, I also make dua and supplicate that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the unity of the hearts. May Allah protect us from engaging in unnecessary argumentation, and may Allah allow us to respect each other for their fiqhi and Islamic opinions. And finally, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless each and every one of us with acceptance, with goodness, with guidance, with prosperity, and with success of this world and the everlasting life of the hereafter. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.